afternoon.
First of all, we're going to do broadcast first. Okay. And then we'll show you Sunday. Okay. Hi everyone.
I'm at the end, yeah?
At the end, yeah. We'll start the press conference as normal with broadcast media. Start with television, then move to radio. And then the next section will go with Sundays with a few questions at the end for dailies. Okay. We're all settled in. Okay, with 1 second just so you can get out of the way of the camera. Okay, Craig, when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Marco. Perhaps you can update us on your injury situation first of all. I know you welcome Anthony Robinson back from suspension, but given the gap between games, are you well rested? A fairly full squad to pick from?
Yes, apart from Miskis Kebano, all the other players they are going to be available for the match. As you know, we have more 2 days to prepare the Monday's game, and of course we have to wait until there. But right now, all the squad apart from Miskis Kebano, they are available to the match.
You talked about the scheduling disadvantage before the Newcastle game, which maybe did have an impact later on in that match. What about Spurs playing 2 games close together? Is that something you can exploit?
Slightly different. Of course, I explained to you the other time because was after a tough period and busy period, and my question why we played on Sunday 2 p.m. This game will be on Monday. Is not just more for 24 hours. It's more than 24 hours, and I think will make a difference. Of course, we didn't play. We are going to prepare the match with normal week to prepare. Of course. Spurs they played yesterday, last night. Of course, has always an impact, and will have an impact. Let's hope we can have a good impact on ourselves. But I have to say that it's slightly different if you play on Sunday or on Monday.
You had the run of 4 wins that came to an end, obviously up at Newcastle. Alexander didn't convert the penalty. I know you were asked after the game, are you thinking maybe about resting him for those duties? Have you had any other conversations about that with him? Is he minded to carry on taking the spot kicks?
As you expect, it's always a decision that I'm taking before the matches. The players they know normally during the week what will be the taker. Mitro is one of the takers. Until now, he's being our main taker. You have enough good takers in our squad. If I have to decide something different, right now I don't see the reasons to take this decision. Let's see. As I said, we have more days to prepare the match, more days to prepare. And penalties as well, and all the situations. If it will be Mitro again, we have all the confidence on him. If it will be Andreas Pereira, William, enough good takers that you have, Harry Wilson, Tom Carney, and Bobby, they are the takers that you can decide in this way. But it's a decision for me to take on the match day with more time to work with them. But full confidence if Mitro has to go again.
Transfer-wise, obviously. We're reporting now that the club is having talks with Cedric Suarez. I don't know if you can enlighten us on whether that is progressing, or if you have other options in that particular area if that doesn't come to pass.
No, I think you all know that you are looking forward to strengthen that position, not just that position, but it's one of the positions that we are trying. As I said before, to add some for our squad, someone for our squad to come here has to be someone that adds something really, because we have a good group of players. We have players that have been working so hard, and they have been doing so well for our football club. Someone to sign now has to be someone that adds something really for us, that you feel that you can raise the level that we have in our squad, not just football-wise, but as a behavior, a commitment in our dressing room. That is something really important for us. I'm not talking about Cedric or other players, because Cedric is an Arsenal player. I am not here to talk about them, but it's a position that we are looking for to strengthen.
Yeah, just last one from me. You want to keep all your best players. Are you confident that will be the case? Given the strong position you're in right now, you're not going to lose.
We have to. And I know that many talks about the right back position, but I have to mention Kenny Ted in this moment, because when you look forward to strengthen the squad, of course, in some moments when Kenny was not ready to play, I decided to start with Bobby Reid, that is not the right back. Bobby did really well. He's always ready to help the team in any position that he can play. But of course we need depth. We need players to compete, to raise the level and make the others to be better. But all the credits to Kenny Tet. He's doing a very good season. is improving in many aspects of the game, and we are really pleased to have him at this level right now. And of course, we want to have more competition inside, and why this is the reason why we are going to a right back position. About our players and the main players for us, of course, I don't want to lose anyone. I think right now will not make sense for us. I know that the market and we are in January, everything can happen, but of course we are not looking for it. We have to look to strengthen our squad and not to lose our best players.
Thank you. Lindsay.
Hi Marco.
Hi.
We know for Spurs that Harry Kane is such a threat for them in front of goal, and one of the things as a head coach that you must have been observing is how deep he's been coming to collect the ball. How are you going to try and cope with that?
Yes, we have tried as well in the first game when we play against them in the first round, first half of the season. We know how he can link really well the game when he drop, and how they can be strong after with the moves from Son or Richarlison or Kulusevski. It doesn't matter who is going to play out wide. The way they can be really narrow, and the way he can leak sometimes one touch, the way he can hold the ball, and after he show the capacity to make the right passes in the right moment as well. Of course, it's something that we are aware, and it's something that we have to try to block in some moments of the game with our central defense, sometimes with the other player to cover that space, because it's something that they are really strong.
You've also spoken to us about the strengths that Issa has and the strengths that Tosin has. Which one do you think is better matched for this?
Good question, but you have to wait until Monday. Not just, of course, team, Tos, Issa and Shane. Shane is back in training as well. He's doing all this week with us. He's getting better as well. Now with the 4 options again, let's see what will be my decision to start the game. They know that they are going to play against a top striker, and of course we as a collective we have to be strong to prevent something, to block some of the paths that they like to explore and some of the gaps, and at the end after will come on the top some individual challenge that we have to be stronger.
I was going to get your thoughts on London derbies. There are so many. I mean, clearly you've managed elsewhere in the Premier League, but how often do you get a London derby in this league? What do you make of it?
No, it's very good. It's a good feeling. I have to say. Okay, first this show how many clubs you have in this city, and strong clubs and big clubs as well. And this, I think, is fantastic for the fans. They even if you play at home or away, you are close, and you don't need to big journey, big travel to go to the matches as well. And I think it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Of course, you know, some London derbies, they are more special than the others, for the fans as well. But will be always a London derby. I think this season is another thing that we have been changing the results, and not just our performance, the type of results, and something that we are changing if you compare with the last seasons in Premier League as well. And we want again, I think, for Premier League, many years that we haven't won against Tottenham at home as well, and we are going to try to change again.
And you must never have thought that having Chelsea as nearby neighbours and Brentford as well, that you would be the top West London club right now.
It's not something that I took in the beginning of the season. If you ask me that 2 months ago, is not something important for me. I know that could be special right now for our fans. There is a good feeling for them when they look to the table properly. But okay, for us is game by game, looking for the 3 points, and of course we are pleased with the position we are. Definitely we are. Even we know that we could have even more points because we deserve it in some games, the way we lost some points as well. But right now, if you are ahead of Chelsea or not is not the main thing for us really, because we know what we are fighting for, you know our reality as well. But at the same time, we have the enough ambition to play all the matches to get the 3 points. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to radio now. We'll start with Emma Jones.
Marco, you talked about playing Tottenham at Tottenham earlier this season. I don't know if you would agree that I think they were quite tough opponents for Fulham that day. If you beat them on Monday, you would move above them in the league table. I just wonder what that tells you about the continued improvement. Yes,
I think we are, right now we are a much better team than that game. I agree with you, it wasn't at all our best performance. And in some aspects of the game we didn't perform at our best level. Even so, we fought until the end of the match to get a good result. Even if I have to say that they played better than us in that afternoon, and they deserved 3 points. It will be a different game, we hope. Playing home at Cottage with fans behind, it's always tough for the opposition sides to come. And it's a good sign if you are in this position right now. Show how we have been growing as a team, managed in a different way some moments of the games as well. Even if last game wasn't the case because we considered a late goal, but I think we are in a better position right now in terms of performing, the compactness of our team as well, our block. In every moment of the game, I think you are in a better moment now, and I hope we can show that on next Monday.
I know some of the circumstances have been unfortunate. You mentioned the Newcastle game and how late that goal came, but Fulham they've actually lost against the teams that you played that have been above you in the table when you played them so far this season. I wonder what beating Tottenham would tell you again about, what that would say about maybe your realistic ambitions for this season.
It could be or not, but Premier League is Premier League for us, and the 3 points they are 3 points and not. You asked me before the Chelsea match because we were not able to win against the top 6 yet, and our results, they were not at the best level against the top sides, and I said to you that 3 points in Premier League, they are really tough to take. Doesn't matter the opposition, and 1 week after, now you are trying to go in a different direction, that we have to win against the teams that they are above us right now. Okay, let's see what we can do. Of course, if you ask me, our ambition to the match definitely is to go and to get the 3 points. It's always the way we work, is always the way we approach every single game as well, and we have to respect. We cannot underestimate them because they are really good side. Their attack line is top level as a collective, and even if they are not playing at their best level, in some moments of the game they can punish you straight away. We have good examples the last few weeks when they did it as well. I think last night is a good example of that first half when they show the capacity in 2 minutes to score twice as well. They are tough to beat. Is another thing that we can improve from this season. Winning at teams that are above us probably is not the main thing for us. We know that there are 3 points there, and you want to fight for them.
You say Tottenham are tough to beat, but they have been beaten recently, and Antonio Conte is under growing pressure. I wonder what you make of how Tottenham have been playing recently and the pressure that he's under as a manager.
I think our main focus is not if they are under pressure or not, and our ambition comes from ourselves and our goals, what we want to do, what we want to improve as a squad, things that we have to improve from the last game, why you consider that late goal. This is the things that are really important for me and for us as a football club. If the team that you are going to play against, they are under pressure or not, and they lost the last few games or not, is not our main focus. Of course, we analyze them as a whole, as a team, their strengths, some that weakness, some that we can explore or not, pay more attention for this or that as well, but always with more focus on ourselves. About pressure that we all, as a manager, live as that of course the face is slightly different when you are in a good mood and you are winning football matches, but it has to be a privilege because it's something that we love.
Finally, for me, is European qualification a realistic ambition now?
Our ambition is to remain in Premier League, clear, and so important for this football club to be in Premier League consistently, and of course is the aim for us, is our goal, and we are not going to change. Everyone can have his opinion and talk about this situation. For us, it's clear our ambition, and you can see now that you are in German market how some clubs they are strengthening their squads, how they are showing the power and the capacity to keep buying players and signing players as well, and we have to be really realistic because even clubs they are really different position than us, they are showing the capacity to keep improving their squads as well. And sometimes when you try to put some different goals for this football club, we have to be realistic and to understand the reality of the football.
We'll go to David, just you in a second. Someone's got one question for broadcast, and we'll come to you.
Okay.
One question, Simon.
Sunday.
You said that remaining in the Premier League is the main target for this year. At what point will you feel that you've achieved that? Is 40 points the main target, or is it something that you won't look at until it's been definitely mathematically confirmed?
Okay, you know that mathematically is always difficult if you don't arrive in last games of the season, just if the gap is too big. Of course, we all know that 40 points sometimes is that magic number that some clubs are looking for as well. Of course, if you achieve and when you achieve, we are here to talk again about the situation as well. Until there, I'm not looking even to talk about different goals or not. I think is being one of the keys for us from last season, not just this season, because even last season our target was completely different. The goal was to be champion, and my answer to you every single week here was the same. We have to look game by game, 3 points in the next one, and after we want to achieve the main goal in the end of the season. And it's being one of the keys, because we don't change many things if it come a bad run in the future, because of course our restart is being fantastic after the World Cup break as well, but you know that can come a different run for us, and we have to be able to keep the calm and to keep going in the same way, in the same direction. And let's see, if you keep getting good results, we are here to talk in the future about something different, but right now not makes sense.
Thank you. So now we're going to go to finish off the broadcast section with Ian Abrahams, and then we're going to move to the writers. Conscious of time, we'll kind of keep these to a couple of questions each.
Okay.
Thank you. How have you achieved this season what seemed impossible in the last 2 or 3 years when Fulham got promoted? They get promoted, then get relegated, get promoted, then get relegated. How have you gone about keeping Fulham in the Premier League?
Okay, firstly, I think one of the main things we kept, and it will not make sense if I'm doing something different. We kept the good work we made last season. The platform was here. The identity that we started last season creating in this football club and building with the players, adapting some of course, but I said from the beginning of the season that we are not going to change anything from the last season, our identity. That was the main thing. Of course, it was important, some of the signings as well, to add something different for our squad. Definitely, because we had some important, the spine of the squad. If you can see some players, they are different and they are helping us as well. And of course, after our ambition, the way we work, the commitment and the desire of the players as well, and we all together with the fans behind always, we are working, we are fighting, we are enjoying the challenge as well.
You mentioned that recruitment. I mean, you brought in Bernello, been a massive success. Paulinho, Pereira, Willian, all your signings this year seem to have completely worked out for you.
Yes, and we not, unfortunately not, because we signed 10, 11 players, and some I expected them, and they have good opportunity to pop up more in the second half of the season. Some they have injuries as well, some with some problems as well, but most of them I agree with you that they settle really well and they are performing at high level, and because that we fought so hard to get them in our football club, in our squad, and I agree they settle well, because that we try them, we convince them to come. Some they come, as you know, from different clubs, but bigger clubs as well, and they were really kind to come and with ambition to embrace the challenge with us.
2 big strikers in action on Monday, Harry Kane and Alexander Mitrovic. I sat here before the beginning of the season with you, and I said the big question was, would Mitrovic score goals in the Premier League? It was a question everyone was asking, and you were absolutely adamant he would, and he has.
Yes, I didn't have doubts in that moment when I answered to you. I know Mitrovic really well. I know what he's capable to do. I know the way we are going to play, and with the way we are trying to play, and we are going to keep providing for him. And the situation, if you have a striker that has the skills, the capacity, the ability to score, and I know the way we are going to build our attacks again and provide for him as well. In that moment, it's impossible for me to say I was 100% sure, but I was fully convinced that we are going to provide again, and we are going to give the chance for him to score. And of course, after striker, they live from the moment as well. It's important to it was important for him that first game of the season when he performed at that level against Liverpool, and of course boost again his confidence for the top level again. Of course, in that moment I was fully convinced that he can do it because I believe on him. I know his capacities. I'm working with him every single day. At the same time, I knew in that moment the way we are going to play again.
Antonio Conte's under big pressure coming into this game on Monday. You're not. I know you're not mathematically safe, but you're in a really good position. Do you feel that you proved some of your critics wrong in terms of management in the Premier League?
I have to prove for myself, for my players, and for the fans of this football club. Everyone can have this opinion. It's not important. I respect all the opinions, of course, but it's not important for me. Some people sometimes they have opinions without knowing the really true behind the work. They don't know nothing what's happening in the clubs because sometimes they lose just to the result. And of course, if the result is good, guy is a magician. If the result is not so good, he's not good enough. But football is not like that. And I think we have good examples sometimes. And I think some clubs where I were before, I think is a good example as well. But okay, it's not important to talk about this right now. About the pressure that Conte is leaving now and I'm not leaving can change in 1 month and a half and 2 months as well, can change quick, and football is like that, and it's not important for me right now. What I have to convince is firstly myself. I put pressure on myself to be better every single day. On my staff, they know the pressure they have as well, and I have to convince my players that is the right way and is for us to go, and I want them to enjoy with us. Nothing more is important for me.
And finally, I mean, ambitions for the season. Now you're not going to go down. You're not going to go down. So FA Cup qualification for Europe. I mean, it's all there for you, isn't it? If you want to go for it.
No, and the FA Cup is a really important competition for me, for our football club, and in 1 week time we have time to talk about Sunderland and that match that will be really important at Cottage. And about the Premier League, you are in a great position for us as a football club. Courage for our players, they deserve really to be there. I have to say, even you could have more points with a little bit more maturity in some moments of the game to manage the games in a different way. In some moments we could have more points because they deserve it, the way they perform and the way they have been playing so far. But we are not, I repeat again, we are not going to change anything. That you have really ambition, I'm really ambitious, the way I like to play as well. I think we show that as well. But we have to be realistic at the same time. And our main target now, our main goal is still the same until now. Thank you. Nice to see you.